From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Harriet Agbenyi.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, busy day for President Goodluck Jonathan as he condoles families of victims of the collapsed synagogue building. Also joins the PDP rally in Lagos. South Africa's High Commissioner to Nigeria dismisses diplomatic row between Nigeria and South Africa, confirms that over 80 of its nationals died at the synagogue. The federal government says it still has an eye on establishing a national carrier. And Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta to appear before an international criminal court for alleged crimes against humanity.
And on business news tonight, the federal government announces plans to increase the nation's GDP to $1.6 trillion by 2030.
On sports news, Nigeria Football Federation, the NFL, confirms Tuesday, September the 30th as date for elections into its executive committee.
"84 dead. That's the final figure from the Synagogue Church of All Nations, and they're mostly South Africans. Nigeria's President, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, who visited the scene of the collapsed building today, commiserated with the families of the victims of the disaster, the government of South Africa, and leadership of the church. Our correspondent Kelvin Obitin, who's been following the event, reports.
At about 9:45 a.m., the presidential chopper touched down on the premises of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. On hand to welcome him is the founder of the church and the deputy governor of Lagos State. Accompanied by the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, President Jonathan inspected the site of the collapsed building. The president said he chose to visit the site after the rescue operation in order not to disrupt the process. He described the incident as a regrettable loss to the bereaved families, the church, the South African government, and Nigeria.
My coming here is to express condolence to Prophet Joshua, the Synagogue of All Nations, and of course the bereaved families. A number of them are not Nigerians from other countries, especially South Africa has the highest number. I spoke with the president of South Africa on Thursday to express my personal condolence and that of the federal government.
He will not speak much on the cause of the failed structure, but promises to seek advice on checking the procedures for erection of high-rise buildings.
So I spoke with the governor of Lagos yesterday. We are going to have a meeting with all the governors and the local government, representative of local government chairman, to see that we must assist, government must assist in terms of advisory issues to people who are building high-rising houses, so that if it is technical issues, we will be able to manage it better.
Just as the president departs, we try to get the founder of the church to talk. That again proved abortive.
No, this is not the time. I will give you a statement, but not now.
He has promised to speak at a convenient time. Many hope the waiting will eventually pay off. Kelvin Obitin, Channels Television News.
As we already told you, South Africa suffered the highest number of casualties in the building collapse of the synagogue building on Friday. Well, South African High Commissioner to Nigeria, Louis Mnguni, told journalists at the premises of the church that the earlier casualty figure of 67 was given before the conclusion of search and rescue efforts. He also said the incident has not caused any kind of diplomatic row between Nigeria and South Africa.
Challenges which are testing our relations, and of course we will always transcend them. So there are no brewing tensions.
I wanted to say it again.
We are working together with Nigeria in as far as this matter is concerned, and Nigeria is leading in trying to address the situation. You know that the search and rescue has ended, and therefore the number has grown up to 84, and that is what we have indicated. That is now 67 plus 17 is 84.
South Africa High Commissioner to Nigeria, Louis Nguni. Well, as from the press from the site of the collapsed synagogue building, the president moved to Tafawa Balewa Square, where members of the PDP in Southwest converged for their unity rally. The president, the vice president, and other PDP leaders were at the event, where supporters showed their support and strategized ahead of the 2015 general elections. This is perhaps the president's first party outing since he was endorsed by the party leadership and PDP governors as the sole candidate of the party ahead of the general elections. Our political correspondent, Seun Okimbaloye, reports.
Not even the rain could deter them as they troop out in their numbers. PDP members and their supporters bearing different placards and posters bearing different inscriptions around the arena signals a big guest of the party may be visiting Lagos. One after the other, some of the leaders of the PDP in the Southwest arrive. Soon, the august visitor to this PDP Southwest gathering enters. The 6 states of the Southwest are represented here. In the stands, they are in their different colorful attires, but on the podium, their leaders speak about how the party is planning to unite ahead of the 2015 election.
There is therefore a sacred duty on the Southwest to work very hard and win back all the Southwest states for the PDP.
I want to reassure you, Mr. President, that the Yoruba people are ready to give their absolute support in the coming elections.
Considering the faces and caliber of people at the VIP section, it is clear that this gathering is an important one to the PDP. Governors, senators, federal lawmakers and party leaders all through their waiting.
We, the PDP governors, are calling on all electorates in the Southwest to stand by Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan come 2015.
And it's time for the national chairman of the party to speak. The former Bauchi State governor sent strong messages to the opposition in control of some Southwest states.
We will not only recapture our own states that have been taken over by the opposition, but indeed, as I always tell my friend, Governor Moishola, we are coming. Indeed, we have come, and indeed, we shall win.
The president is the last to speak on the occasion, but before then, the party welcomes new members, those who have defected from opposition parties, most of them in the National Assembly.
The idea of the rally is to bring the family together, for us to reason together, for us to see our faces, for us to dance and clap and sing, so that we know that we belong to one family, one PDP family, the largest political party in the continent of Africa.
Not a campaign, but a unity rally. Those are the words of President Goodluck Jonathan when he climbed out the podium. But the crowd that we see here today and the sort of speech that came from the speakers, it shows one thing, that when the campaign truly comes, it's going to be a very, very tough challenge as we approach the 2015 general elections. From the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos, Seun Okimbaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
Well, also at that rally today, the president gave the assurance that the National Conference report would get his government's attention. The president revealed that the implementation of the report will be reflected in a new constitution the whole nation will be proud of.
Promise that will make change, we promise that will never go back. And for us to do that, we need all the money. But that's one of the reasons why we National Conference. But the idea is to tap the brains of all Nigerians. So we went around the country, gathered almost 500 people, men and women, youth, labor leaders and others, to come and contribute for that. The idea is that by the time we take that document to implement, we will be building in Nigeria based on the thinking of Nigerians for Nigerians. And let me especially thank the Southwesterners, because this is a Southwest zonal rally, for your commitment and your robust support for the National Conference. In the first place, the man who led the team that went around this country and drew the map for the conference, they designed the conference, is Senator Femi Obrom, your own son. He donated him to us. He did a very wonderful work. And again, during the major conference, of course, you also know that one of your own, Professor Akiyemi, was the vice chairman. And we also know the commitment and the belief of the Southwesterners in terms of reforming this country. So I believe that the document that has come out will reflect the thinking and the interests of the people from this zone. And we promise you that we will work with the National Assembly to make sure that we are actualizing the content of that report.
President Goodluck Jonathan speaking earlier in the day at the PDP Southwest Unity Rally. While the transformation ambassadors of Nigeria are garnering more support for the president ahead of the 2015 general elections. This time, delegates from the northeastern part of the country, represented by 6 states, promised their allegiance to the man they say is the answer to Nigeria's problems. 1 million people have put pen to paper in the northeastern region, urging Dr. Goodluck Jonathan to seek a second term. Our correspondent, Victoria Ido, reports.
There is no vacancy in Asarok.
This is the 5th rally organized by the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria in support of President Goodluck Jonathan ahead of the 2015 general elections. A fairly large crowd gathered at the Gombe Township Stadium within the northeastern region of the state.
Dr. Goodluck Jonathan has touched the lives of everyone in this country, especially in Taraba State. When it comes to health, road construction, water, and name it.
The theme of insecurity dominated speeches at this gathering.
With all sense of responsibility, on behalf of our good people of Yobe State, convey our best wishes and prayers to you all, more especially to our good people of northeastern region of Nigeria, who are currently faced with challenges of security.
From all indication, we have seen everything on ground to show that the security situation in the northeast sub-region, particularly in Adama, will be a thing of the past.
And Borno State delegates were perhaps more saddened to talk about the issue being the hardest hit by the insurgent attacks.
This is the time for all of us to reflect, and we need everybody in this country, in fact in the whole world, to pray for Borno.
Going by the pattern of the day's conversation, it was no surprise when the relief materials were presented to states bearing the brunt of the insurgency.
The Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria have decided to donate these relief materials.
Thank you for Shenkafa. Yabamu Shenkafa, Zamuchi.
In this region, over 1 million people have again signed the big book endorsing President Goodluck Jonathan for a second term, praising his administration for the fight against insurgency in the country.
Signatures for onwards transmission to Mr. President.
The Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria in support of Goodluck Jonathan have once again pledged their loyalty to a man who has been unanimously picked as the PDP candidate for the 2015 presidential election. But they have to wait a while longer for the man they constantly raise high on their shoulders to make that formal declaration. Victoria Ido, reporting for Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, more kidnappers' hideouts demolished in Anambra State. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.